There is a specific kind of heartbreak in watching a legendary K-pop group announce a grand return only to realize the magic has evaporated. Well. All I can say is that thank goodness that disease of a year is finally over, and hopefully this year doesn't turn into hot sewage. I already know that we started off this year with one controversy already, but it's been a long time coming. Aside from that, please let this year make sense. Hello again, Rosieries, both old and new to my channel. I have more opinions. I mean, what else is new? Anyways, let's start the video. Number 1. Live vocals have become a performative gimmick. We've entered this weird, uncanny valley of live performance where everyone is terrified of being the next viral lip-syncing scandal, but the solution is honestly worse. In 2025, live has just become another filter. We're seeing these massive groups panting into their headsets and hitting human pitch errors that feel suspiciously consistent every night. It's manufactured grit. It's the musical equivalent of buying pre-ripped jeans for $400. We're paying for a curated version of a struggle that isn't actually happening. Producers are literally sitting in studios adding breathiness and slight flat notes back into the stems just to trick our ears into thinking it's raw. We've traded honest artifice for engineered authenticity. Personally, if you're doing high-octane, gravity-defying choreography, just give me the polished studio track and own it. I'd much rather watch a flawless, high-budget spectacle than sit through a performance that's lying to my face about how real it is. Stop trying to sell me perfectly imperfect. If I wanted a mistake, I'd go to a dive bar, not a stadium. Number 2. Old groups should never make a comeback if their skills regressed. There is a specific kind of heartbreak in watching a legendary K-pop group announce a grand return only to realize the magic has evaporated. We all crave that hit of nostalgia, but let's be honest, legacy shouldn't be a shield for mediocrity. If a group's vocal stability has vanished or their once sharp choreography now looks like they're moving through molasses, the comeback feels less like a celebration and more like a cash grab. The industry thrives on perfection, and while we shouldn't expect 30 or 40-year-old idols to pull off the same acrobatic stunts they did at 19, there has to be a baseline of competence. When the skills regress significantly, it taints the memory of their peak. Instead of remembering them as the kings or queens of the X generation, we're left with the awkwardness of watching them struggle to stay on key or keep up with the beat. True respect for the craft means knowing when to take a bow. If you can't bring the fire anymore, leave the stage to the rookies and let your flawless discography speak for itself. Some icons are better left in the vault. Number 3. The Big Three, BTS, BlackPink, and EXO, return is a nostalgia trap. Look, I know I'm asking for a landslide of ratio comments here, but we need to have a serious talk about the Big Three industrial complex. The absolute frenzy surrounding BTS's March return and EXO's January album feels less like a musical shift and more like a massive exercise in collective nostalgia. We're essentially turning them into the Rolling Stones of K-pop, venerating them for their past glory while ignoring that the creative spark might be flickering out. And there are rumors about BlackPink's third studio album to be released early this year. Legacy status is a double-edged sword. When you're that big, the music becomes safe. It's polished, it's expensive, and it's designed to hit a specific fan service metric rather than break new ground. While the giants are busy protecting their brand, the real gritty innovation is happening in the shadows. We have rookie groups who are out here taking the sonic risks that the titans no longer have the freedom to take. We're so blinded by the glow of the gold statues that we're missing the actual future of the genre. Don't let the name on the jacket distract you from the fact that the sound might just be fine. I do hope they can prove me wrong and actually bring something great to the table, but let me know what you guys think. Number 4. The Karina controversy with the red jacket was a slap of reality for stans. The recent meltdown over Karina and that red jacket was a massive, uncomfortable wake-up call for the K-pop community. I get the outrage, the symbolism was heavy, but this situation perfectly highlights the inherent danger of the parasocial pedestal. We spend years convincing ourselves that our biases are flawless extensions of our own values, only to be blindsided when they prove to be independent humans with their own, potentially messy political leanings. It's a slap of reality because it forces stans to acknowledge that idols aren't just curated avatars, they are citizens of a different culture with perspectives that might clash with yours.
We see this constantly with Western celebrities, yet in K-pop, we treat a differing viewpoint. I get it, okay? I get why the red jacket hit such a nerve. For many, it wasn't just politics. It felt like a total breach of trust. When you invest so much emotion into an idol, seeing them represent something you find harmful feels like a personal gut punch. But the reality we have to face is that idols are independent humans who will eventually take sides or hold views that clash with our own. It's okay to feel disappointed or even hurt, but acknowledging that they aren't our moral clones is the only way to survive as a fan. You can hold them accountable for the symbols they wear while still accepting that their perspective is theirs alone to navigate. It is up to you whether or not you want to continue supporting that said idol or not. Your feelings are not invalid.
Number 5. We should celebrate niche success over Billboard charting. We've completely lost the plot on what success actually looks like in K-pop. We're still obsessed with the vanity of a Billboard #1, even when we know it's often propped up by aggressive ad spend and endless remix bundling from the Big Four. To me, that's not growth. It's just a high-budget math equation. The real story of the year is the survival and grit of niche groups like Fromis9 or the genderless concept rookies, X-Love. Watching a mid-tier group build a fortress-like fandom that consistently buys 150K to 300K albums is infinitely more impressive than a one-week peak fueled by a corporate machine. That kind of sustainability means the music actually connects. It means people aren't just streaming for a chart goal, they're showing up for the artists. We should be celebrating the groups that can weather industry shifts and agency changes without a billion-dollar safety net. A legacy of loyalty will always beat a peak of plastic stats. It's time we value the slow burn over the manufactured explosion. Number 6. Idols will never be relatable. We need to stop trying to find our reflection in a diamond-encrusted mirror. The idea of the relatable idol is the most successful fiction the industry has ever sold. But it's time we look at the math. How can we call someone just like us when their skincare routine costs a month's salary and their casual airport outfit could pay off a student loan? These are multi-millionaires living in high-security penthouses, navigating a world of private jets and luxury endorsements that the average person will never even touch. It's not just about the money, though. It's the fundamental disconnect in reality. Their hardships are curated for documentaries, and their daily struggles are filtered through 3 layers of management before they hit our screens. When an idol complains about being tired, they're doing it from the back of a chauffeured van, not while waiting for a delayed bus at 6 a.m. There is a massive, unbridgeable chasm between their luxury existence and our mundane lives. Expecting them to truly understand the grind of the 9-to-5 or the stress of rising rent is setting ourselves up for a delusion. They aren't our neighbors, they are icons on a pedestal, and that's okay. Let's just stop pretending the pedestal doesn't exist. This is not me dismissing their hard work and struggles, though. I understand that the idol life is not easy, and not all of them can make it in a highly competitive and brutal industry. Number 7. Companies should put less emphasis on sexualizing female idols and focus on improving their stage presence. It's high time we admit that K-pop agencies are choosing the shock factor of a short skirt or a low-cut top over the genuine wow factor of a killer performance. We've entered this frustrating loop where companies prioritize sexualizing female idols to drive clicks, rather than putting in the work to refine their stage presence or vocal stability. I'm tired of the discourse around a comeback being dominated by X looks so hot in this, or look at X's body proportions. Those things have zero to do with talent, yet they're being treated as the main event. I want to be floored by an idol going absolutely ballistic on stage, showing us a level of intensity or charisma we've never seen from them before. I want to talk about how a group stayed pitch perfect while executing a level 10 difficulty choreo, not just how pretty they looked while doing the bare minimum. When an agency leans on sex appeal as a crutch, it's a sign they don't trust the artist's actual skill set. We should be demanding growth, not just glamour. An idol's legacy should be built on the fire they bring to the stage, not how well they fill out a stylist's mood board. Number 8. An idol proving themselves years ago is not an excuse for lame stage presence in the present. The "they've already proven themselves" argument is becoming the ultimate get-out-of-jail-free card for lazy performances, and frankly, it's insulting to the fans paying for concert tickets today. We need to stop using a legendary debut or a dominant run from 5 years ago as an excuse for a lame stage presence in the present. If I'm at a show in 2026, I'm there to see the artist you are now, not a hollow tribute to the person you used to be. Nostalgia is powerful, but it shouldn't be a blindfold. It's painful to watch a veteran idol go through the motions with dead eyes and half-hearted movements while the backup dancers outwork them. Respect is earned through consistency, not just seniority. Look at performers like Taemin or Jihyo. They've been in the game for ages, yet they still perform every stage like they have something to prove. That's the standard. When an idol stops trying because they feel their legacy is secure, they aren't just coasting, they're disrespecting the craft that put them there. A great past doesn't justify a mediocre present. If the fire's gone, don't ask us to keep pretending we see a spark.
Number 9. LE SSERAFIM's 2025 identity shift saved the girl group industry. Their identity shift didn't just change their trajectory, it practically resuscitated a girl group industry that was starting to feel like a repetitive loop of high school crush concepts and bad girl posturing. While everyone else was playing it safe, LE SSERAFIM decided to treat K-pop like actual performance art. That experimental Gaio Daejeon stage, the one with the heavy drag queen influence and theatrical staging, was the wake-up call we desperately needed. It wasn't just about the shock value, it was about inclusivity and a refusal to be a predictable commercial product. They've moved beyond the "I'm fearless" branding and started actually showing us what that fearlessness looks like through high-concept, boundary-pushing art. They aren't just idols anymore. They're performers in the truest sense, challenging the conservative boundaries of the industry. In an era where everything feels algorithmically generated to please the masses, LE SSERAFIM is taking massive creative risks. They've proven that you can be a top-tier group while still being provocative and intellectually stimulating. They've set a new bar for what a concept even means. And honestly, the rest of the industry is watching closely.
Number 10. If you don't understand how contracts work, then stay quiet. Every time a legal dispute pops up, timelines turn into a mess of vibes, emotions, and half-understood screenshots. Suddenly, everyone is a lawyer because they watched one TikTok breakdown or skimmed a translation thread. Contracts are not feelings-based documents. They are boring, detailed, legally binding agreements that artists, parents, companies, and lawyers all sign before anything goes public. You don't get to ignore the parts you don't like later because the outcome feels unfair. What really gets me is how people treat contracts like moral suggestions instead of legal rules. But they were young, but the company is rich, but it feels wrong. None of that automatically voids a contract. Courts don't operate on fandom logic or sympathy polls. They operate on evidence, clauses, timelines, and obligations. Period. You can support an artist emotionally and still admit that legally they might be in the wrong. Both things can exist at the same time. Blindly yelling mistreatment every time a contract is enforced doesn't help idols. It just shows how unserious the conversation has become. If you don't understand how contracts work, that's okay. Just don't speak over reality. Number 11. Baby Monster's Supa Dupa Love is 10 times better than any music they've put out since their debut. Supa Dupa Love is the first time we've actually heard the real potential of Baby Monster. Since their debut, it felt like the group was trapped in a 2014 YG time capsule, recycled swag tropes and aggressive, noisy choruses that felt more like a tribute to their seniors than a fresh start. But this track, it's a complete game changer. It is easily 10 times better than anything they've put out so far because it finally allows them to breathe. Instead of hiding behind dated girl crush posturing and loud production, Supa Dupa Love leans into a groove that actually suits their age and vocal colors. It's slick, it's catchy, and it has a sense of musicality that was missing from their earlier, more formulaic releases. It doesn't feel like they're trying to convince us they're monsters. It just just feels like they're being world-class idols. For the first time, the music feels effortless rather than forced. If YG keeps moving in this direction, prioritizing melody and vibe over shock and awe, Baby Monster might finally carve out an identity that isn't just BlackPink 2.0. This isn't just a good B-side, it's the blueprint they should have started with.
So, what do y'all think about these opinions? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, then go ahead and like, subscribe, and click that notification bell, rosaries, to get more content. I'll see you all next time. Bye!